Wonderful having you here. Welcome, Meticulous Moments audience. Thank you so much for joining us as we have another amazing interview with the phenomenal Lefteris Koutinas, Lefty for short. And he's here with me in the green room. But before I bring him on, I want to read you his bio. Lefty's journey in the world of video marketing began by serving as the creative genius behind both 6- and 7-figure coaches, lending his talents to a host of digital campaigns that left a lasting impact on the audience and boosted conversion rates. He's the video Jedi, who's even had his work light up digital billboards, a testament to his boundary-pushing creativity. What sets Lefty apart is his unique brand voice, a punchy mix of snark, sarcasm, self-deprecating humor, and an edgy bite that leaves no room for vanilla. This unconventional approach is intertwined with real-world events and relatable truths, making his content as engaging as it is memorable. From video sales, letters, and story brand videos to commercials and films, Lefty doesn't believe in one-size-fits-all solutions. His work is as unique as his clients, with a deep understanding that great content can't simply be rinsed and repeated. Lefty's mission is simple but ambitious: to help businesses unleash their potential through the power of video marketing. He's already changed the game for many and is just getting started. Love him or hate him, you can't ignore Lefty. He's the unconventional maestro who's redefining the landscape of video marketing. And I have to say, it is such a wonderful pleasure and an honor to have Lefty here with us at the Meticulous Moments podcast this week. We are celebrating the first birthday of Meticulous Moments here, where we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. And it's such an honor. It's so amazing to have him here with us. We're going to have a lovely discussion this evening. So let's put our hands together for our special guest, Lefteris Koutinas, Lefty for short. How are you, Lefty?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so well, thank you. We've talked, we've had a virtual coffee, and we've been talking on Messenger. We both know, of course, Robert J. Moore, and you are
Yeah.
working on a big project with him. But I read your bio. Tell the audience something that they don't know about you already.
Yeah, this is always a fun question to answer. What people might not know about me is that I was born and raised in a family of entrepreneurs that dominated radio and television broadcasting for just over 40 years until everything started to go digital. And I did not want to follow in my family's footsteps. That's not something that I wanted to do growing up when I was, becoming a teenager.
Yeah.
So I got into music. I fell in love with music, and I became a touring international DJ. So yeah, I was able to play, in the United States. I, of course, played all over Canada, where I'm from, and the handful of times I was able to not only play in Europe, but play in Greece, my second home country. Um, I did that for over 15. I did that for just over 12 years, and I realized that I didn't want to do that for much longer when I,
Yeah.
started entering my 30s. And I think the reason why I got into DJing was because I could be whoever I wanted to be, right?
Mm.
When I put myself on that stage, nobody mattered. Uh, there was no Lefteris. The there was just the character, the persona that I created, right?
Yeah.
And people fell in love with that persona and fell in love with that stage presence. Now, why is that important? That is important because um, growing up, being younger, I was not always the popular kid. I was bullied.
Yeah.
So so I used DJing as an escape route to become a cool kid, right?
Mm.
And then once I started getting popular and having photos and videos taken of myself, and I was like, wow, I look so good. I thank you so much. I can't believe I look like this. I sound like this. This, that, and when I left DJing, it clicked. And what clicked
Mm.
is that everybody has a cool kid in them, and
Yeah.
I want to bring out the cool kid in everybody.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Lefty, I have a mixed martial arts group, a meticulous martial arts mastermind. And, I love to use the song, that speaks about how you can be the greatest, even though you're being bullied. So many of the martial artists that I've met, they have a history of being bullied. And I love the fact that you mentioned that every single person out there has a cool kid within themselves. And that speaks to me about a journey of self discovery. And you've been on that journey. You looked at your life, you decided what you wanted to do, you did it. That's leadership to me. What made you get to that point where you said, you know what, I want to discover that cool kid within me, and I want to impact the world on a greater scale, because that's what you're in essence the world out there. Was there a moment, or was it a series of events or synchronicities that got you to that place?
Um, yeah. So to go a little further back, um, back when I want to say 9 years old. I believe I was 9 years old. Um, there was a pirating software out on the internet called Napster.
Mm.
So Napster it really shook the industry, because now you don't have to go to a record store to buy music. You could just
Yeah.
download it illegally for free. So that shook the industry, right? And but the beauty about Napster is that it it almost opened up the music industry to finding music all over the world. It wasn't just stuck to Canada or stuck to the US, right? I was finding music from Germany, from Australia, from China, from wherever you could pirate music, and um that's how I found house music, right? So I found house music and techno music through Napster, because it was very underground. It was almost very illegal, right? So, and it was
Yeah.
hard to find a lot of the good stuff mainstream. So I found this music, and I fell in love right away. I was like, oh my God, what are these sounds? What are these like the rhythms, the moves, and all this? And I was like, this is cool music, right?
Yeah.
This is cool. And from that moment, I was like, I need to learn everything about it. I want
Mm.
to play it. I want to remix it. I want to perform it. I want to make it. I want to do everything with it. And because I was playing a type of music and a type of style of music that was non-traditional at the time, it
Yeah.
it got people to listen. It got people
Mm.
to be like, oh, what's this guy about? What he's offering us something different here. And I just I kind of, and this is a bad word to use, but I mean it in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
It's almost like I manipulated my crowd by
Yes.
with movement and the music
Mm.
that I would play. And I was able to create a huge fan list because of it. I got a lot of fans, and when I got a lot of fans, um, I I now felt that kind of like at peace. I was like, wow, I'm experiencing something now that I never got to experience in elementary school. Being, what the term they use on the playground, the loser, right? Like I wasn't the loser anymore, and
Mm.
and it opened up the world to uh it just opened up the world to so many different things, and I'm very fortunate. And by the way, imposter syndrome does exist in that world too, because
Yeah,
as you level up and now you're starting to be in the same room as the bigger DJs, and then the bigger DJs, and then
yeah,
even the bigger DJs from that, you're just like, oh my god, do I belong here? Like, these guys are
yeah,
so much cooler than me, right? So, but I created I just thought at the time of what I wasn't, and if I
mm.
gave myself the opportunity, who would
Yeah,
I want to be? Who do I want people to view me as? And I I created this persona of everybody. I need everybody to be around me at all times. If I walk into a room, I need to turn heads, right?
mm.
And I guess and building that stage presence over the 15 years, um I guess you could say I brought that into my video marketing as well, and I brought that into my video agency. As like, if I'm going to create a video for somebody, it needs to turn heads, it needs to open up eyeballs,
Mm.
it needs to do that. So and I understand at the same time too that I'm not going to be for everybody. I'm not. But
Yeah,
what makes me special is that I don't care to be either.
that's it. Absolutely. I see that drive, I see that passion for what you do. And I also see when you're speaking the journey of self discovery that you went through. And I really want to tell the audience, nothing great is accomplished if you haven't completed that journey of self discovery. If you
Hmm.
haven't been through all those tough times, really questioning yourself, what is it that I really want to bring to the world? What impact is it that I want to make? And Lefty, I know that you went through those times, those tribulations, and those moments of epiphanies to say, but this is what I want to do. This is what I want to bring to the world. It's not easy to go on that journey. And I saw a picture the other day that said, difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. Where has your difficult road brought you to?
Where has my difficult road brought me to? Um, Here right now where we are, right? Like this is where it's brought me to, being able to um run and operate my video marketing agency, being able to work with individuals, one being Robert, like we mentioned earlier, like being able to work with these types of incredible people that have so much to share, so much to tell. um and when I first started, I almost had this like slogan or catchphrase, um and pardon my French, but the catch line was like, I just want to make cool shit. That was that was the slogan. And now and now I don't say that anymore. What I say
Yeah,
now, through the journey of like even understanding me more, and understanding where I am as a filmmaker and how I am as a filmmaker, that I want to be able to tell as many stories as I
yeah,
possibly can. I think everybody has an amazing story, and I want to be the one to share it and put my creative twist on it and spin on it, and just make something timeless.
yeah.
They can take away your house, they could take away your cars, they could take away your money in your bank account. Like, they can take the shirt off your back. The one thing that they cannot take away from you is your story, right? that is
Beautiful.
that is the most powerful asset that we
Yeah.
have as human beings, and everyone's got an amazing one to share, and I want to be the one to be there and share it.
That's the truth. I absolutely agree with you 100%. And I was thinking in the week as we celebrated the first year of Meticulous Moments, I thought back about things that I've been through in the last 12 months. And I actually just internalized that and said, everything that I've been through, every single event, I'm grateful for because I learned a lesson. But then I took it a little bit further and I said, every single person that have or has crossed paths with me, I'm grateful for them as well because they taught me a lesson. You see, it's all about integrating what we experience, our worldviews, the things the way that we interpret the world with the way that other people interpret the world. And we learn those lessons daily. And I want to ask you, on your road, because I can think, I mean, I've done about 200 and something interviews in the last year. And I
Wow.
learned something special and amazing from each and every single person. If you had to think back over your journey from the DJ times to the video marketing to where you are today, filmmaking, what is the one event that stands out or the one person that stands out where you really learned a valuable lesson that you will take with you as you continue on this beautiful journey?
Um, yeah, I think the one thing that really stood out to me um was from my first mentor ever, Jay Lee, the sales ninja. Um, he likes to use this phrase where he says, "Slow is fast," and that, you know what, it's an interesting, interesting phrase, because there's times where I'm like, I completely understand what it means, and then there are days where I'm like, what the hell does it mean? Right? Like, you, there's still uh and I think I find it very, very interesting, because it's true. Slow really is fast, right?
Yeah.
We live in an age where we think that if we are not posting every day or several times a day, that, oh my god, the world's going to forget about us. Oh my god, god forbid I go on a vacation for a week and I don't post anything and I come back, that's it, my business is ruined. No, no, it's not. We, I feel like we do things because we need to do things and we want to do things, but I also feel like we need to stop apologizing for the things that we want to do. I
Yeah.
I don't need, if I want to go on a vacation, or if I just don't want to post anything one day or one week, I don't have to write an apology letter to my audience saying, sorry I didn't show up, right? Like, I feel like we try so hard to get so much validation from so many other people, and then we forget that we need to validate ourselves, right?
Mm,
We just need to say, hey, you're doing this for you, right? As much as it is for them, right? Because you don't have a business without your people. Like, you don't have a business without your audience, without your clients, and they make up a massive contribution to what it is that you do. But you should still not have to apologize for the actions. Slow is fast. Chill
yeah.
out. Take the break. Go on vacation. Disconnect. Don't feel bad for these things. And at the same time, it's also made me realize that I don't have to post so frequently and get the same results. If I was to leave anything with anybody, or anybody listening or watching right now, or who's going to hear this later on, uh, you know, it's not a matter of making 10 videos. It's a matter of making one video that packs the punch of 10 videos,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
This is the timeless mentality that's coming into play now. Think about being think about it like a car, right? Um, what's a classic car? What's a classic car that you like?
Cadillac.
You like the Cadillac. Okay. So if we were to go with like a classic old vintage Cadillac model, this is how people need to start thinking of their content. Do you
Yeah.
want to be the classic Cadillac that even 50 years from now, you're still going to want to spend a lot of money on that classic model because they don't make it anymore? Or do you want to just be next year's model?
Yeah. Wow. That's true. And I was thinking when you talked about slow is fast, there's a Navy SEAL saying that says, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that is so true. And I bring
Like,
that to my martial arts as well. And I bring that to my business. Sometimes it takes us a little while to build that foundation out, to really say, we're going to work hard in the beginning to build that foundation, and then we're going to work smart. We are going to look at quality rather than quantity. We're going to see what are those posts that you've mentioned that really bring that punch to the audience, that really resonates with their hearts, their body, their souls, their spirits. And I want to ask you, in your years of video marketing, what are some of the most valuable lessons that you've learned about posting, when to post, what to post?
yeah, when to post, when to post should be your schedule, right? There's no correct time, because think of it think of it like when you're watching a TV show, right?
Mm.
When you think of a TV show, and back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you had the TV guide, right? And the TV guide, you look through, oh, this is on at this time, right? The TV guide never asked us, hey, what time would you like to see this show? It
Yeah.
said, if you want to watch, it's this time on this day, period. End of story,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So your audience will gravitate towards your posting schedule, not the other way around, because Jimmy down the street or Michael across the country from me, they're not always going to have the same days and the same schedules. So I can't be fighting for who's going to see what at what time. They have to make time to watch my content, not the other
Mm.
way around. So when I get the when question, find a time and a day that you know that you can post, and that um if it's every Wednesday at 12, guess what? Every Wednesday at 12, your audience is expecting a video, right? Or maybe it's every day at 12. Guess what? Every day at 12. But you are the master. You are the maestro of the time, right?
Yeah.
The audience follows you in that direction, right? Um and I apologize. What were the other two? The other two is the what and the
Just, the quality over the quantity, and just talking about when to post, what to post, and to who to post it. Just really going into the intricate details of,
yeah.
because some people just post to post, it's haphazard, it's
Yeah.
different times. Some people decide they're going to post at certain times of the day because they've heard, this time is the best time to post. And here we have this imbalance. For me personally, I post because I'm very intuitive. When I feel I need to post something, I post it. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter what time of the day it is. I really don't stick to times. I'm in South Africa. It's 9:30 p.m. For you, it's 3:30 p.m. I believe, or Eastern
Yeah.
Standard Time is 3:30 p.m. But sometimes I sit in meetings until 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, my time, because
Yeah.
exactly to the point that you've mentioned, I love the content of those leadership groups. I love the content of what we do there. I stay up at those times. So, in
Mm.
that sense, I'm the audience. So, I agree with you completely. post what you need to post, the audience will follow. So,
Yeah.
what pointers can we bring to the audience about posting when, what to post? You made a very, very good point when you said when you post, and if that's a quality post, if it's something that really grips them, they will watch because that's what they are needing for that input in their lives, in their businesses.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and you're right. A lot of people do just post randomly. They don't know what to post or anything like that. You don't have to listen to a guru, okay? You don't have to listen to a guru. You don't have to listen to a coach. You don't have to listen to um, some jack in the box guy or girl who's like running a business out of their bedroom. Not to say that if a person has a mansion, you should listen to them either, because sometimes they don't even know what the heck they're talking about. Listen to your audience.
Yeah.
Like, your audience gives you all the answers. Like, you don't need me to tell you um we should be doing this, right? um the big misconception, well, it's not even a misconception, I should say. The misunderstanding is
Mm.
that people create for themselves when they should be creating for their clients,
Yeah.
right? If you are a brand new Instagram page, or you're a brand new YouTube page, or TikTok or whatever, you know, answer questions that you feel like your audience might have answers to. That should be like your first 30 videos.
Yeah.
Then when you feel like you have like a good pattern of what you're going to talk about, how you're going to talk about it, you feel like you're solving an actual problem now. Okay, now you can move on and do your own thing and whatnot, right? Like, my okay, like, I've had my video marketing agency for only 5 years now,
Yeah.
and I really only started to excel in the last 2 years, right? So if you think about it, my 2 years, if we want to use the word fame for this, my 2 years of fame came after 20 years of garbage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, when people watch my videos and they say, "Oh my God, Lefty's this, Lefty's that. Oh, he's such a good talker. He's very good with his camera, with his angles, with his this, with that." That was 20 years of lessons.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have. That's why I'm allowed to play, right? I'm allowed to play and give myself permission to play and perform the way that I want to, because for me, it's a matter of storytelling
Yeah.
and attention grabbing, right?
Mm.
So do it for the audience. If you're
Mm.
starting out, do it for the audience. If you feel like you're losing the audience that you've built because you're running out of ideas, refresh their memories. Like,
Mm.
people need to hear the same thing a minimum of 7 times
Yeah.
before they understand what you do, right? So you
Interesting.
might, yeah, so you might think, you might go look at my Instagram reels, and you look at the first one, but then by the 10th one it sounds the same, but for some reason you understand it better at the 10th
That's
video than the first video, and that's when you say, I got to call Lefty, I got to talk to this guy, he knows what he's talking about,
yeah.
right? Sometimes repetition is good, because you need to you're not only doing it for the audience, but you're also doing it for somebody new that might watch that exact video at that time. They haven't seen you before. They have no idea who you are. So
Yeah.
rinse and repeat those videos. Say the same thing. Repeat yourself, because you never know who's going to be watching. It's not always your core people.
That's it. That's the truth. I've been in the real estate industry for many, many years.
Mm,
And we always talk about the listings that we do, the houses that we bring onto the books for sale. We always talk about location, location, location.
Yeah.
And I'm an empowerment coach and a geologist. And when I speak to people, I always tell them it's about repetition, repetition, repetition. Because, like you said, not everybody has seen all your videos. Every time I open the Meticulous Moments podcast, I always mention that we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. And there's
Mm,
a reason why I repeat that. Because when someone sees Meticulous Moments, they have to connote that. They have to put that together. There has to be a confluence. You know, like when two rivers come together, they call it a
yeah.
confluence. There has to be that connection where they realize, well, I'm on Meticulous Moments. Maybe it's my first time watching, but what does Meticulous Moments do? We facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. And I agree with you, repetition, repetition, repetition. If you have a time where you are not maybe getting in new ideas, reuse old videos that you have, but
Yeah.
always make sure that it confers the essence of what you do. I agree with you 100% because people need that. You said 7 times. They need to hear that so that they know what you are about. There's
Yeah.
so many external influences. Sometimes we get lost, in this whole whirlpool of external influences, external voices, and then sometimes we lose what we've done. So how
Yeah.
can we do that? How do we do that? Do we repeat it on a cycle? Do we do it in a manner that we follow our intuition? How would you approach that repetition cycle?
Yeah. So for me, that's a fantastic question. Um, for me, because being a cinematographer, right? I I refresh my repetition because it is a refresher. I refresh the repetition through skill.
Oh,
So I will go back to any courses that I've purchased about cinematography, or I will go back to, because I'm also a visual effects artist, right?
mhm.
So I like doing VFX and all that. So for me, it's I go back to the skill and I say, okay, I did this once the first time, but how can I say it the second time, or even the third time or the fourth time, and it not sound dull? So
Yeah.
sometimes the wording is the same, sometimes the wording isn't the same, but what I'm visually showing you. Now I have, you know, the fortunate part is I have the luxury to do this, right? I can't sit there and say that everybody is an editing wizard, that everybody knows how to make a masterpiece video, right? Um, but go back to the skill. Go back to
Mm.
whatever it is that you're teaching. Um, maybe you are, let's say, a life coach, right? Um, maybe you've never shot anything outside before. Maybe maybe get if you've done a talking head video like this before, maybe your next one could be of different shots of you out in the world, and then do a voiceover and make the shots that you're doing of, let's say, day in the life, uh, make your message make sense with what you're shooting, right? Um, you're a martial artist. Maybe you choreograph a fight sequence,
Yeah.
and the people that you're fighting is every time you have imposter syndrome, and you're just like beating your
That,
imposter syndrome up, right? Like there's so many ways of like
yeah.
creative ways that you can get the message across, um, with saying the same thing and not becoming boring, and
Yeah.
pacing, right? I know that we're in this world of um, you know, fast videos and this and this, but if I sat if I sat down to record a video and I was like, guys, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you have to be a better entrepreneur, because of these 3 reasons, it's going to be number one, number two, number three, you're going to be like, whoa, I don't
Stop them.
understand what you just said. right? And a lot of people, it's funny that I know how to speak that fast, but it's funny because your audience right now probably had no idea what I just said, right? And a lot of people make their videos that way because
Yeah.
they think, I only have 20 seconds to do this. Oh my God, I need to say everything in 20 seconds. And then they
Yeah.
rush it, right? Never let time dictate the message.
Mm,
If you
and
need 5 minutes to get your message across,
yeah.
then maybe you shouldn't be on Instagram and you should be on YouTube,
Yeah. It's
right?
the truth.
If you can get it out in 30 seconds, guess what? Make it a reel, make it a TikTok video, but never sacrifice your message for time.
Mm. I love that. I absolutely love that. And you mentioned a few pointers, and that really flared up something in my mind. I went to the States this year in March, and I went to
Nice.
the Business Leaders Network. It was an entrepreneur summit. I had the pleasure of being a speaker at the summit. And on the second day, I was asked to be on the business panel, and the topic was marketing. And they talked to us about, different facets of marketing and how we do the marketing. And I mentioned something in the beginning, in the initial phase of discussing this topic. I said, and you mentioned something that kind of corresponds with that. I said, your logo is not your business, it's not your brand. You
Yeah.
are your brand because people don't connect to your logo, they don't connect to the times that you post, they connect to you.
Yeah.
They don't just want to communicate. They don't just want to communicate effectively. They want to connect with you. And when we bring that authenticity and that originality to the plate, that's when people start listening. So then you can refurbish old videos. You can use content. You can post at different times because people are following you. So I
Yeah.
think, rediscovering yourself, what you stand for, what you want to do, that's very, very important when doing video marketing for your business. There's no specific recipe. You have to tailor make that recipe for yourself
Yeah.
and you have to be consistent. Even if you post on different times, be consistent with your message. What is it, Lefty, that you stand for? What is it, Juanita, that you are facilitating? And that's what people latch onto. And that's where you get the success. That's where you get the
Yeah.
breakthroughs and the business just flows in.
Right. Yeah. You know, my grandfather, to go based on what you just said, my grandfather was a massive pioneer for the Greek community in Toronto when he came. He pretty much gave the Greek community a voice, right? Um, and I remember I was young. I remember being like 10 years old,
Yeah.
and my grandfather's in the kitchen, and he sits me down. Well, maybe not 10. I was probably like 11, 12. Um, but either way, that's not important. And he sat me down and he says to me, he goes, they don't care about what you sell. They don't care about how you sell it. What they care about is you. And his
Yeah.
exact words to me were, get people to like you, and you will never be out of business.
Wow. True. True.
Everything else is smoke and mirrors. Your offer, it's smoke and mirrors. Your business, smoke and mirrors. It's all Disney fairy tales. It's just
Yeah.
get them to like you. If they like you, they will move mountains for you, he said.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible. And I've seen on because I was a pastor, an ordained pastor for 15 years. I worked
Nice.
with people. I know about people. I can read a room when I walk in. I can read people when I meet them because we study psychology, we study sociology
Sure.
as well. The best advice I can give the audience today is just to really take off the masks and just be yourself.
Yeah.
Be your authentic self. Lefty, you mentioned it earlier in this interview. You said, we are not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. As long as you are being true to who you are, what you stand for, and you are yourself, people want to meet you. They
Hmm.
don't want to meet a fairy tale version of you, like you've mentioned. They want to meet you. They want to know you because at the end of the day, it's people connecting with people, it's people networking with people. That is the important part.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's literally as raw as like down to the bone as you can go, right? You've taken
Yeah.
the flesh off, you've taken the meat, you've taken the cartilage, you've taken the muscle. It's like bare bones. It's like they just need to like you. If people like you, this is why you see somebody putting out a their first 5-day challenge,
Yeah.
and their first 5-day challenge makes $10,000, but it was a complete disaster. Like it's a complete disaster, but they made $10,000. Why? It's because they like you, right? No one's gonna turn around and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I paid for that." Like Juanita came on and she was a mess. Oh my God. No, they just love Juanita. That's it. That's why they paid. They know that you're gonna do another one, and then the next one's gonna be even better and even better and even better.
Yeah.
When you can show people your true colors, who you are as a person, um, you know, you can literally make a huge difference in your business, and even you as a person, even just you trying to make friends, like you can
Yeah.
just be you. Don't be
So
somebody that you're not.
don't be. I agree with you 100%. Here at Meticulous, we talk about leadership, we talk about gratitude, we talk about community upliftment, and I really feel we've covered the leadership and the community upliftment. I want to ask you, Lefty, you're busy with so many amazing projects, including Robert J. Moore's project of his autobiography. His film is coming up. I'm working with him with the publishing and everything. What are you grateful for as you look back over your life, the things that you've been through, the lessons that you've learned? What are you grateful for today?
There's so many things. It's such like it's a loaded question. um First and foremost, I'm grateful for uh being brought up in the family that I was brought up in, right?
Yeah,
I'm grateful for the opportunities that were given to me through them. um I'm grateful for my wife, who always believes in me, who's uh in my
beautiful.
corner through and through. uh never says I can't do anything, always pushes me to be my best. um and and I have to say, like, I'm grateful for all the amazing opportunities that have come my way, and I'm grateful for future opportunities that I haven't even met yet.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You and I have chatted away for almost 47 minutes now.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I just want to ask you, that always happens when we connect. I just want to ask you, as we come to the end of this wonderful conversation, this wonderful interview, what are words of wisdom that you want to leave the audience with as we close off this session?
Don't let anybody dictate um what level of business or what level your business is at.
Yeah.
um I'll give you an example of this. There's many people right now that say that want to get into video or want to do a promotional video for their business, because that's what I do. I do promotional advertising for businesses. um and a lot of coaches or a lot of other people's mentors will say, don't do it. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. Only you can determine when you're ready, and only you, like, if you wanted to come out guns blazing with a Hollywood masterpiece, I mean, who's to tell you no, you can't do that?
Yeah.
If you're the person that is like, you know what, I saved $200,000 and I'm ready to start my business, you know, who's to tell you that you can't use that money on video?
Yeah.
Right? Like, the capital that you have will get you where you need to be. Sometimes people give you this advice for one of two reasons. One, sometimes they can feel like you're gonna exceed the person you're learning from, and
Oh.
and there could be I still see some jealousy in this industry. So sometimes people are afraid that you're going to exceed them too faster than how they're teaching you. And secondly, it's like you're only doing secondly, you can only do yourself good by investing, right?
Yeah.
A promotional ad, as long as your messaging doesn't change, you could change. You can keep a promotional ad as long as you keep your passport. Like, that's how powerful it is. And I've seen these things generate millions and millions and millions of dollars of sales. Like,
Yeah.
so, be you. Don't let anybody tell you when you're ready. Like, you have control of your business, of how you want to show up, right? Don't let anybody control that. That's all you.
I agree. I really agree with you. Follow that intuition that you have. Follow your dream and your goals, and just do the best that you can. You know, we all have these wonderful skills and gifts and talents that we can bring to the world. And I want to thank you, Lefty. Thank you for being such an amazing friend. And thank you for making the time to be here with us today at the Meticulous Moments podcast. We celebrate you and we appreciate you tremendously.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next session. Make sure you follow and connect with Lefteris Koutinas. We call him Lefty for short. And we'll see you in the next session. Thank you, Lefty. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're the #1 fastest growing community and tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs all around the country and around the world. We're in 36 states across the U.S., in 11 international countries, and over 240 plus members, growing every single day. And I'm honored, excited, and I'm glad to say that I'm proud to be the official sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast with Juanita Kapp. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited for this journey.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Ellis. I'm from the Thought-Provoking Change community. I am honored and humbled to be a sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast, brought to you by the one and only Juanita Kapp. It is such a joy and privilege to be on this journey with you, and I look forward to seeing where it takes not only Meticulous Moments, but also thought-provoking change. Looking forward to this partnership. You're a great person with a great podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Patrick Rude. I'm the owner of Rude Financial Services, a proud sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast, hosted and directed by the beautiful, strong, and intelligent Juanita Kapp. I cannot tell you enough about what this woman has done with this podcast and the effect that she has had on me and all of the other sponsors and people that listen. Don't miss it.